second half of the Houston game, including making free throws, trying to do a better job of things that we can control. Turnovers, we had 23 turnovers, and I think they had 15 or 16 extra shot attempts than we did. And then our defense. Defense is, we're not, until we get back to doing that consistently, it's going to be that much more challenging for us. So the things that we've been preaching and the things we need to get done, we didn't do a good job of tonight.
You said you expected them to bring a lot of effort with Anthony Davis out. Teams that tend to rally in those situations. Did you feel like you were able to match that? And if not, then why not?
No, I think we started the game scoring the ball. They were scoring the ball, and we kind of just fell into that trap. And that team, they play fast, and between Peyton and Holiday, they get after ball handlers. And once we've suffered from games like that in the past where we let teams get into a rhythm early, and then it's tough to get stops as the game goes on. And they scored 42 in the first quarter and didn't really feel us defensively at all. As far as finding the energy, I think for us it starts with starting the game with much better energy.
Luke, you kind of warned of this after the game on Thursday about getting your foot on the pedal, and you've obviously had situations like this throughout the year. Has there been a theme in these letdown games, and is there something about his mentality coming into it?
No, I mean the themes are similar to what we talk about all the time. It's turnovers, it's making free throws, it's being the aggressor on defense, and that's when we struggle. Those are kind of a common themes throughout. But we got to keep our head up and go to Memphis and try to get one in Memphis. So that's just where we're at as a group. We got to be better.
When you're this late in the season and you have this sort of effort in all those areas, how disappointing is that to see that happen? You've got now 23 games left, and you're still kind of going through. As he's saying, different teams just not getting that.
Well, we're all frustrated. We came in to try to, we want to win this game. We know how important it is for us, but that's why we try to preach all the time. It's not important to put our goals 23 games from now, because the way you win each and every game is to focus on what we're doing tonight. Are we taking care of the ball? Are we focused, locked in at the line when we get there to knock it down? Defensively, are we talking and making our coverages and our rotations and then making multiple efforts out? The things that we did in the second half of that Houston game, and that we did to become a top 10 defensive team for a lot of the season. So that's where our focus and energy needs to be. Unfortunately, tonight we didn't get enough of that.
When Holiday got it going, did you feel like there was proper recognition on your guys' part in terms of the hard closeouts and really contesting him when he got into his rhythm?
Well, he hit some tough ones. I'll go back and watch the tape and see. I thought we could have done a better job of either challenging or blitzing some of those. But they were putting shooters all around him out there, and we were having a tough time containing Julius or Diallo. And but that's something I'll go back and watch on the tape.
Luke, do you think the trade was made and stuff now with Diallo had any effect on the game?
I don't think, but that's not a question for me to answer.
Second game of the season, you may remember this, against the Rockets. Rondo, Ingram, and Chris Paul all suspended without pay for a bit of a dust-up that occurred in the fourth quarter. And then the Lakers, they peaked 7 games above 500. Most recently, back in December against the Hornets, LeBron and Lonzo each recorded a triple-double in that game to become the 8th pair of teammates to ever do that. But on Christmas Day, the Lakers blew out the Warriors. That's great. However, LeBron went down in an injury. He missed 18 games. The Lakers plummeted in the West as a result, and now going from 4th out of the playoff picture. That was the biggest of the Lakers' injury concerns. Lonzo Ball, Rajon Rondo also missed some games, 44 combined. And James basically didn't really get to play much with those two guys. All in all, the Lakers found themselves below 500 entering the All-Star break. That's the first time that's happened to LeBron or a LeBron team since his rookie season. So they will need every bit of help from him. LeBron, what do you say on this?
It's been quite a while for me that I've been under 500 going into the All-Star break. I don't remember the last time. So
So, you know, my level of intensity has to be, you know, unfortunately for me, because I don't like to do it at such an early time. I'm a little bit different, but it's been activated. So look forward to seeing what we can do.
All right, so Stephen A. Smith and Om Young-Masuk, who covers the Lakers here in Los Angeles, are joining me now on Coast to Coast. We're talking about the state of the Lakers, if you will. LeBron is activating early. There's much talk about him being in the playoffs if he doesn't make the playoffs. Stephen A., first off, if LeBron doesn't make the playoffs, is there a fallout for him and this Lakers team after that?
No, I think the fallout is that Luke Walton will lose his job. A matter of fact, I'm damn near to the point where I think it's a foregone conclusion. He's in a world of trouble. They've got to produce over these last 25 games. They've got to make the playoffs. And then after that, they've got to make a relatively decent showing in the playoffs. Otherwise, there will be a new head coach in Los Angeles for the Lakers next season. You can book it. It's that serious. So I wish him nothing but luck because I think he's a good coach. I think he's got a lot of promise and what have you. But they've got to play better. They're 30th in the league when you're talking about three-point shooting percentage. You know, you just look at some of the things. Don't get me started with their free throw shooting and where that ranks. I mean, LeBron James ain't even at 68%. Brandon Ingram is about at 66%. Lonzo Ball's at 41% from the free throw line. You've got guys like JaVale McGee and Tyson Chandler in the 60 percentile. So you're struggling from three-point shooting. You're struggling from the free throw line. You got a guy who's the best player in the world and your superstar, but he's in his 16th NBA season. Your number 2 guy is a guy by the name of Kyle Kuzma who can play and has a lot of promise, but you were expecting more things from Brandon Ingram. You ain't getting it. And so when you look at all of those things right now, it definitely is one of those situations where I don't think LeBron is going to suffer because anybody with 2 eyes sees what they're lacking. The issue for LeBron James is going to be this summer. You've got Magic, L.A., Southern California, sunshine, palm trees, and everything in between. You're the best player in the world, and you can't get one of these free agents with the bevy of them that are going to be available to come and play with you. That is going to be a problem if that happens. But nothing affects LeBron until this summer.
Yeah, I don't think if they don't make the playoffs, it's some sort of indictment on LeBron James at all. I do think this summer is huge for LeBron and Magic Johnson. And I don't even think if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, it doesn't affect what they do in free agency. They're still going to go after their stars, and I don't think it's going to deter stars from coming. Stephen A. is right. If the Lakers do not make the playoffs, Luke Walton and this coaching staff is likely probably gone.
But that's a foregone conclusion,
yeah.
is it not?
And I think
He's
the coaching
gone,
staff
no
understands what they probably have to make it to the second round or deeper
to keep his job,
to make a run. And listen, if the Lakers do somehow find their way in, not in the 8th spot, but in the 7th spot and somehow get Denver or Oklahoma City, I think they're going to be relaxed, relieved, and then they could probably make an unexpected run. But in order to get to the playoffs, they might have to go 18-7 down the stretch. And we've seen the Lakers blow games to the Knicks, the Hawks, horrible lottery teams. They have given themselves no room for error down the stretch.
Prior to the All-Star game, that was a huge indictment against Luke Walton. They've lost 4 of their last 5 and 5 of their last 7. The 2 victories that they had was overtime against the Clippers and a buzzer beater against Boston by Rondo. 5 games they lost. They were blown out by 42 at Indiana. They were blown out ran out of the building by the Sixers as well. People looked at that. LeBron looked at that. You look at Luke Walton. We know what he did as an assistant in Golden State when he filled in for Steve Kerr when Steve Kerr was out because of health issues. He was phenomenal. That got him the Lakers job. A matter of fact, I'm here to tell you, when Magic took over, if Luke Walton, he had decided at that moment, I want to go in a different direction, Luke Walton would have had the job the next day because the Charlotte Hornets would have hired him.
Right.
Michael Jordan, Mitch Kupchak, they would have hired him in a heartbeat. Luke Walton would have been their coach, all right? But he stayed here. Now you have a situation where you have a great player like LeBron James, along with his camp, and others speculating about what kind of muscle he has as a coach. And he is not Magic Johnson's hire. So Magic Johnson is not going to upset the apple cart, per se, by getting rid of Luke Walton. But if Luke Walton does not make the playoffs, he is gone. I am guaranteeing you. On national television, he will not be the head coach of the Lakers.
Even if they do make the playoffs.
But if they make the playoffs and he puts forth a good showing, Kerry, then you got to consider. You got to give him consideration for that. You can't just sit up there and say, "Oh, he's going no matter what." That's not true. But if he doesn't make the playoffs, you can bet the house There's going to be a new coach next year for the Lakers.
But to be fair to him, he hasn't had a full roster.
He hasn't. It's not his
and
fault.
every time somebody comes back, somebody's out.
Absolutely.
And listen, when they get Lonzo Ball back, and I texted with somebody from Lonzo's camp who said that there's no timetable for his return yet. He's still aggressively rehabbing. Once he comes back, there's going to be an adjustment period. And they don't have any time to adjust now.
I go a step further home. Luke Walton, in most NBA circles, we all know Luke Walton's getting a bad rap. Because if you look at this roster,
Sure.
I mean that's a lot. I mean that's a lot to ask. He can't make shots for you now. I mean we've seen. I mean the Lakers at times have resembled construction workers, bricklaying going all over the place. So we can't sit up there and look at Luke. We can't look at Luke Walton and blame him. But Magic Johnson did talk to him early in the season.
Sure.
He is not satisfied.